He revolutionized the way defense is played. He gave the blueprint of how to be the leader of a dynasty. There is a reason why he was considered the GOAT for decades.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. I hope you all are having a good day. It's the first of the month, and time to react to some of the things that you guys have been asking me to react to. So, first one on the list is this one right here from the channel Basketball Universe. I've had a lot of you guys ask me to check this exact video out, and kind of surprised, actually, because it's not like this video blew up or anything, but apparently it landed on all of our feeds, because I saw it on my feed too, but I definitely saved it once a bunch of people were saying, hey, you got to react to this, my crime. Like, all right. This one's titled Michael Jordan versus 10 NBA Legends, GOAT Debate. And I mean, right off the bat, I didn't really think about it, but this would be kind of cool, because instead of this just being a one-on-one battle against stupid LeBron, which doesn't even make any sense, that's not what it should be. It looks like this is going to be a battle individually between Jordan and, you know, who would be on a lot of people's top 10 lists, you know what I mean? So, yeah, looking forward to checking this out, and I think it's going to be really cool to see the comparisons to somebody like Wilt Chamberlain, for instance, because it's such a wild card to compare anybody to. But anyways, let's get into this. Like I always do, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description, and there you'll see a list of channel members. Thank you all channel members. I appreciate you all, especially after yesterday. Both of those videos got copyright claimed, but those were a ton of fun to do, and we'll continue that next month. By the way, real quick, for those of you who watched the daytime drop yesterday, the NBA80s Volume 1 and 2, I really don't know what happened. I'm going to make this really quick, but I swear I just reacted to Volume 1, but there's segments in there that are from Volume 2, and I kept going back and forth from to the two videos, watching them, trying to figure out like if I'm going insane or if I literally reacted to both. I don't think I did. I think somehow I ended up with a video that has like some of one and some of two, because the videos were 20-something minutes long each, and my reaction was like 40. So anyways, guys, I don't know what I did. If you guys can figure out what the hell I did wrong there, let me know. But if not, I'm moving on to Volume 3 at the end of this month. So anyways, you guys, leave the vid a like. I'd appreciate it. Original videos down below in the description. Let's move on. It's a new month. Let's go. I totally flopped the end of last month, so I apologize. Here we go.
Can any one of these 10 legendary players dethrone Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time? Is there a legitimate case for any of them? We'll look at both sides and see if we can honestly place a player ahead of the great Michael Jordan.
The problem is Jordan, when Jordan became the GOAT, he dethroned all of these guys. The only person that came along to challenge him was Kobe Bryant, but he came up short, you know? He came hella close, but he came up short. So, in my mind, no, these guys can't challenge him. Sorry, I don't mean to like shit on a video. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. No, because we already decided that a long time ago, like 30 years ago, that these guys didn't challenge MJ, and no one's challenged him since.
No matter what side you're on, I would love to hear your take in the comments. Let's start with level 1 and bring in Steph Curry.
All right.
If you are any one of his diehard fans, you'll surely bring up his influence. The three-point shot dominates the league. Teams are desperately trying to duplicate what the Warriors accomplished, but no one can do what Steph Curry does.
Before I forget, if we can get some traction on this, I'd like to see this exact video, but swap out Michael Jordan with LeBron James. LeBron James versus 10 NBA legends. Make him go head-to-head against all these guys, you know? And then see where does LeBron really rank, because we all know it's not 2.
You can easily make the case that he's the greatest shooter of all time. Michael Jordan can't compete with that. However, we do have to talk about the other end of the court. Steph is nowhere near the defender that Michael was.
Yep.
He's never been selected to the All-NBA defense. Jordan has 9 first-team selections. Then we have to discuss what you accomplished and how it was accomplished. Out of his 4 championships, he's only won 1 Finals MVP. There were moments where he was outshone by one of his teammates and where he couldn't impact the game on the biggest stage. Let's not forget that the 2017 and 2018 Warriors had 4 members who were selected to be an All-Star. Michael Jordan has never played with more than 1. And every time he won the title, he was unquestionably the best player.
Yeah.
The reality is that Curry hasn't accomplished enough to even make this a worthy discussion. He deserves to sit this one out. Now, let's bring in Tim Duncan. He is the greatest power forward of all time and arguably the greatest winner of the 21st century. He never knew what it was like to have a losing season or to miss the playoffs.
Jeez.
That's something that Jordan had to endure in the early and late stages of his career. He simply knew what it took to win right from the beginning, and he never wavered.
I know.
His defense was also just as impactful for his team as Michael's was. The Spurs were always among the top defensive teams, and Duncan was usually the reason why. He has 8 All-NBA.
He's also probably the most coachable person I've seen over the last 20 years. Easily.
Defensive first-team selections. Oof. It's hard to pinpoint a weakness in his game. However, he has been criticized far too often for his underwhelming performances. There were times when you forgot he was on the floor. For example, there were 58 times that he scored 14 points or less in the playoffs.
Yeah, but what else was he doing there? Because in the playoffs, if he's doing that, he was probably racking the rebounds, playing solid defense, blocks and steals, all that good stuff, assists.
But has never scored less than 15 points in a playoff game.
Yeah.
He just wasn't the type of player to dominate a game or an entire season on a consistent basis.
Yeah, he didn't dominate the game with scoring. He did an all-around game, for sure.
Other than the 2002 and 2003 seasons, there isn't anything that truly stands out. When I ranked the top 100 regular seasons of all time, those were the only 2 appearances. Meanwhile, Michael has a legitimate case for having 7 total seasons in the top 20 alone. At their best, Jordan was clearly more dominant.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
This is another debate that I can't seriously entertain. Can we say the same for Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
He was never...
Hey, Shaq had all the tools to become greater than Michael Jordan. He just chose not to be. And now he's kind of living with a little bit of that regret, I think.
Of not being dominant enough. You can make a case that there isn't a single player that you would want more to win a 7-game series.
We've never seen a single player have this much of a physical advantage over the rest of the league ever. I wonder if we ever will again, too. He had such an advantage over everyone. But unfortunately, I think it made the game too easy for him. And he probably got bored. And that's why he got lazy. Because even if he was like 80 pounds overweight, he could still dominate everybody.
He was a walking mismatch.
Yep.
He's the only other player to win 3 straight Finals MVPs, as Michael did. If we're talking the greatest 3-year stretch, you would put Shaq's 2000 to 2002 seasons right up there with Jordan's 1991 to 1993 seasons.
That's one of those like greatest peak things. Like he might have had one. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I'm sure if we look at those 3 years, he had one of the greatest, if not the greatest peak.
As great as his highs were, his lows are a bit alarming.
Yeah, they are.
There were 6 times that he suffered a sweep in the playoffs. One of those occasions came against Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. There were times when he lacked the maturity and motivation to overcome certain adversities. We question if he left it all on the court. That is something that is never questioned with Michael.
Agreed.
Shaq is one of the few players who had all the attributes to accomplish as much, if not more than MJ. He just wasn't willing to work as hard as him. That's one of the main reasons why his resume is inferior. He's also going to have to sit this one out. Level 1 is not really controversial. The next level will surely get more heated.
Okay.
Let's start with Kobe Bryant.
All right.
This debate is much simpler to make because it played the same position, the same style, and even under the same system.
I agree. Yeah. Kobe needed to get 7. If Kobe got 7, then it would have been different. But Kobe got 5, so it is actually the most simple one to do.
The most casual fan knows that Michael accomplished more.
Yeah.
He had more titles, Finals MVPs, scoring titles, etc. It is universally known that Jordan is the greatest shooting guard ever, and Kobe's right behind him. You can't beat the original. However, some of the Kobe defenders believe that he was a better player, that he was more skilled in various aspects of the game. And yes, we can all agree that the degree of difficulty of some of the shots he was making was out of this world.
Yeah, but his shooting percentage went down because of it too. So you got to play that into that's a big factor for me. He was shooting like mid 40s, while Jordan was shooting. Well, at the end of it, he was shooting 50.
You can say that he was more daring than Jordan was, especially when we compare it to his style in the late 90s. But in his earlier years, he was also doing things that would leave your mouth open. He wasn't just wowing us with his dunks. It is hard to say conclusively that Kobe's footwork was more polished than Michael's. This is more subjective, and you can make a case for either player. Even if you give the edge to Kobe, it's not a big enough gap to say he's dethroned Jordan as the GOAT.
No, because we're talking about greatness. We're not talking about just skills. So, I mean, if we're talking just straight up skills, then Kyrie's on my top 10. You know what I mean? Like, it's different than that. It's bigger than that.
He's going to have to take a bow and also sit this one out.
Yeah, sorry,
now
Kobe.
Let's bring in Larry
You're my number
Bird.
2.
His argument is somewhat similar to Kobe's. Due to his lack of longevity, the numbers and accolades that he obtained are much less than Jordan's. Injuries robbed him of having a long career.
Yeah.
There's no case to make for Larry in that aspect. But what many people point to is the intangibles. His ability to uplift the team. Even as a rookie, he led the Celtics to 61 wins, a 32-game improvement from the previous year.
That's massive.
From that point forward, he was able to at least reach the conference finals in 8 of his first 9 seasons. He dominated the NBA during his most competitive era. He displayed
Can I hear that? Something?
From that point forward, he was able to at least reach the conference finals in 8 of his first 9 seasons.
Nice.
He dominated the NBA during his most competitive era. He displayed the perfect balance of getting others involved and creating for himself. He was also a killer in big moments.
Yes, he was. Clutch.
Let's not forget that he swept Jordan from the playoffs in 1986 and 1987. He also has an 11-23 overall record against him. Many of his fans believe that you would rather start a team with Larry Bird. In Michael's defense, he was more dominant individually in their head-to-head matchups.
That was young MJ. So, since we were talking about Kobe, it's more reminiscent. This era, MJ is more reminiscent of like 2005 Kobe, where it's just like he's out there trying to do it all by himself.
And the Bulls didn't feature another all-star teammate until 1990, Larry's third to last season, while he would regularly have 3 to 4 all-star teammates at a time. It's hard to say what Jordan could have accomplished during that era with a better supporting cast. As far as the claim that Larry uplifts his teammates better, I believe this has more to do with one's style preference. The objective of the game is to win.
Yep.
The best way to do that is to build the team around your best player's strength. Larry is a phenomenal all-around player. You could plug in extremely talented scorers, and he would find a way to make the most of their talent.
Yep, for sure.
Michael is different. Scoring is what he does best. It makes more sense to plug in players who are skilled in other aspects of the game.
Yep.
Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman are great examples of that. And who would have thought that Luke Longley would be the starting center of a team that won 72 games?
How about, and then how about Bill Cartwright, old Bill Cartwright, getting 3 championships in a row with the Bulls too. Starting center, it's wild.
Doesn't that say that Jordan knows how to get the best of his teammates as well?
100%.
They just do it differently, and they both were successful. Except MJ has more rings to show for it. As much as I love Larry Bird, I wouldn't place him over Jordan.
Agreed.
But you know who has more rings? Bill Russell. He almost has twice as many.
Yep.
Yes, the Celtics were indeed extremely talented during this era, but the key to their success was their defense. There's no question that Russell deserves the bulk of that credit. He is the most valuable defensive asset in league history. He revolutionized the way defense is played. He gave the blueprint of how to be the leader of a dynasty. There is a reason why he was considered the GOAT for decades. But for fans like me, we believe Michael took the crown from him. The reason is very similar to what we already discussed with Tim Duncan. It's how underwhelming his numbers look on the other side of the ball. We're not saying that he wasn't a productive offensive player. He's an underrated playmaker, and their fast break offense started with him. When he needed to score, he proved in big moments that he could. There are several playoff series where he averaged over 20 points per game.
total rebounds. Good God. This is what always blows my mind. Jesus, 31 a game. Field goal percentage. He shot decent. I mean, sometimes amazing, like here. So he shot well, got a lot of rebounds, he scored enough, obviously, to win. So if they're winning championships, you can't dock him for not scoring more because he's scoring enough to win, and that's what you want out of your leader. Minutes played, good Lord, he played like the entire game like Wilt did. I don't know, man. I got nothing bad to say about it. I just didn't get to see it.
I believe there was a misconception about how valuable he was on offense. With that being said, his scoring and shooting numbers clearly indicate that he was limited to what he could do. Casey...
Does it, though? Okay, 5 for 13, 6 for... Okay, I mean, yeah, he is shooting. His percentage is more in the Kobe Bryant range.
His shooting numbers clearly indicate that he was limited to what he could do. Casey Jones, his former teammate, even mentioned when comparing his game to Robert Parrish that Russell wasn't a proficient shooter. His low free throw percentage indicates that.
Oh, wow.
We must also factor in that he was playing during an era when it was easier to score more points. During his 13-year career, the league average was 112.7 points per game, and he never finished better than 15th in scoring.
Oh.
Even if he wanted to, he simply didn't have the necessary talent to be one of the top scorers of his time.
Yeah.
So here's the difference. Russell was all-time great on defense and good on offense. Okay. Michael was all-time great on both ends.
That's fair.
The gap in their offensive abilities is just too much.
Yeah.
It's not just about how many times you won, but how you performed. For example, Russell's career high for the playoffs is 32 points. That would barely make Michael's top 90 in playoff scoring games. The numbers say that Jordan was a superior performer, but if anyone can beat him with numbers, it's Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, these are the two wild cards. And yeah, the league was at its infancy back then, so barely any teams. It's so hard to gauge it and to judge it that I throw both of these guys in my top 10, and I don't know where the hell to put them. And I hate it. Every time I do a top 10, they're the only ones that I'm moving around because it's like I really don't know. Why don't I know? Because they're the only ones I didn't get to watch. So I don't really, like everybody else, I know. I saw what they're capable of. I saw what their impact was on winning. So it's not hard for me to rank everybody else. These guys, man, I don't know what the hell to do with them. I still don't know what to do with them. All I know is that they belong in my top 10. And that's just out of respect.
We're talking about the same guy who averaged 50.4 points per game and then followed that up with a 44.8 average. I mean, the NBA should just release the Chamberlain Book of World Records because he holds so many. In his prime, he was the most dominant scorer and rebounder in league history. If they kept track of blocks, we may be able to add that to the list. When he got bored of breaking scoring records, he became the best passing big man. His individual greatness cannot be disputed, and you can certainly say that it's better than what Jordan did at his best in the regular season. But we most certainly cannot say the same about the playoffs. The numbers say that he never surpassed or matched his regular season production in the playoffs.
That's wild.
In all 13 of his playoff runs, he always averaged fewer points than the regular season.
How did that happen, man?
Michael Jordan averaged more points in 11 of his 13 playoff runs.
Yeah, I know.
On top of that, they both went to the finals 6 times. One player never lost. The other lost 4 times.
Yeah.
And this is what they averaged in the finals.
Wow, 18 points, Wilt. He shot good too. If you're Wilt Chamberlain and you're shooting 56%, why aren't you shooting more? 24 rebounds a game. So he did everything else in the finals. Was it because Bill Russell was just... I don't get it. I can't finish a statement because I don't know. Because if I say Bill Russell shut him down, then why was Wilt shooting 56%? was Bill Russell just like taking away like the looks that Wilt Chamberlain wanted? Therefore, he didn't shoot that much, but when he did, he was still shooting at a good percentage. I don't know, guys. Did you ever? Anybody who ever got to see Wilt and Bill play, like chime in the comments, please. So many of us, we can't figure out the puzzle.
We're talking about a 15-point difference.
That's crazy.
His playoff failures have nothing to do with not having a strong supporting cast. 5 of those finals appearances came after 1966. In the next 8 seasons, he played with 4 top 75 players and 2 additional Hall of Famers. In 4 of those seasons, his team had the best record in the league. The reality is that he played for stacked teams for a large portion of his career. He couldn't get it done when it really counted. The opportunities were there to win just as many titles. The difference is that one player had the reputation of excelling under the pressure, and the other had the reputation of wilting.
Yeah, I'm going back to the opinion I had a year ago, but I'm gonna ask you guys: was Wilt Chamberlain LeBron James before LeBron James? Like, he has all the tools in place to win, but he just collapses in the finals. Am I missing something here?
No pun intended. It's important to dominate the regular season, but it's more important to back it up in the playoffs. His playoff resume just doesn't compare to Jordan's. He takes a seat while Magic Johnson comes in.
So I guess we give Wilt the greatest regular season player of all time.
Two of the most entertaining players ever. One is the greatest scoring guard, and the other is the greatest floor general.
Yeah, imagine them on the same team. Woo!
They're 2 different styles, but they were equally successful. For Magic's case, you would make similar arguments that we discussed for Larry Bird. He accomplished so much in a short span.
I know.
His ability to get the best of his teammates allowed the Lakers to win 5 titles. In his 13-year career, he only failed to reach the finals 3 times.
Insane.
That's not to mention everything else he accomplished individually. His prime was just as impressive as Jordan's. But there was a clear difference in the way that impacted their team on defense. It's fair to say that Magic made his imprint by being active in the passing lanes. He created a lot of turnovers, and there were 2 times he led the league in steals.
Yeah, he just wasn't a good on-ball defender. That's the only stain against Magic, in my opinion.
He knew how to use his length to his advantage. At times, he was the best free safety in the game. But if you had him in a one-on-one situation, you could get your way rather easily. He was never considered a lockdown defender. When Vernon Maxwell made an appearance in the All the Smoke podcast,
Vernon's been just, what do I even say? He's freaking hilarious, man. Mad Max is hilarious.
He described graphically that he couldn't move his feet on defense. This was a weakness in his game. And just like we mentioned for Steph Curry, he was never selected for the All-NBA defensive team.
Yep.
On the other hand, Michael was equally as effective in playing the passing lanes and locking down his opponent. Not only did he achieve more, but he was a more complete player. It's not by much, but I believe that factor gives him the edge. Now we get to the last level. This one will be the most intense. Let's bring in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has the same number of titles, he has more MVPs, and he has better career totals. He also doesn't have any weaknesses in his game. He is an underrated playmaker and one of the top defensive centers during his long prime.
This is one of the main ones I want to see go head-to-head against LeBron. Actually, almost all these. So I think Kareem wins. I think Magic wins. We have a case for Bird because of how quickly he did it. You have a case for Steph. I think Duncan wins. Yeah. But Kareem kills him.
Legitimate argument to be considered the greatest of all time.
Yep, cap.
But again, it's all about how you perform during your title runs. It's fair to bring up that he only won 2 Finals MVPs. I agree with many fans that he should have won the Finals MVP in 1980. So unofficially, let's just say that he has 3. But that still means that Jordan was the best player for a championship-winning team twice as many times.
I know.
Keep in mind that for Kareem's last 2 titles...
It's just not fair. It's not fair. You can't stack anybody against Michael. It's just not fair. Jordan he's just Michael Jordan, man.
He was 40 and 41 years old.
Yeah.
By the time he won his last title, he was reduced to a role player. For example, in the 1988 finals, he averaged 13.1 points per game on 41% shooting.
Let's see. His final year, huh? What? What is this? 4-3. Oh, for the whole series? Is that what I'm looking at here? That's kind of weird. Oh well.
Those aren't exactly all-star caliber numbers.
Wait, points. Okay, so averaging 13 points. I gotcha. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Played 30 minutes. Shot 41%. Yeah, role player for sure. Good role player.
We can draw the conclusion that he was the driving force for at least 2 of his titles. He had the luxury of playing with some all-time great players.
Yeah, Big O and Magic.
In the short period that he didn't, he had some ugly moments. From 1975 to 1979, he missed the playoffs twice and lost in the first round. He even became the first and only player to win the MVP while missing the playoffs.
Wow.
It should be noted that his teams weren't properly constructed. But when you're the best player in the world, you're expected, at the very least, to reach the playoffs during a weak era. Michael doesn't have those kind of holes in his resume while in the prime of his career.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because 80s Jordan didn't have a good team, but he always made a way to make the playoffs. So that's a fair criticism.
And when he won, he was always the primary reason.
Oh, no, that's the Suns. That's the Suns series. That's a perfect example, though. 41 PPG in the finals. Yes, sir. And they were the underdog that year. The Suns had the best record in the league. Damn it.
Close as this
Damn it. Every video, man.
is, I give Michael the edge over the captain. The last player to come to the circle is LeBron James. What's the argument that has been made for his GOAT case? That he's bigger, faster, and stronger.
That's not a GOAT case, but continue.
He has better rebounding.
In that case, yeah, right.
His totals. He has recorded high numbers for a longer duration. Nobody has been able to play at this level after turning the age of 40. There's an argument to make that he's had the best career. What's important to do here is establish the criteria to know what your standard of excellence is and never waver.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't meet the standards of my GOAT list at all. Like, he doesn't check the boxes at all.
I give much more importance to how a player performed at their very best. If I take Jordan's best and LeBron's best, who was the better player and who accomplished more? There is no question that the answer is Michael Jordan. If we're talking scoring, LeBron's career high is 31.4. That will be Jordan's 7th best. His career high is better by nearly 6 points per game. People love to talk about...
I'm curious. I want to look at something. Okay, so this is LeBron's best scoring season was 31, right? Okay. I just wanted to look at freaking percentages here, man. Field goal. Why am I not seeing it? 2-point percentage? Damn, I just wanted to see like the overall field goal percentage. I don't think I'm going to get it. 0.8 blocks, 6 assists.
His career high is 31.
73 from the line.
1.4. That will be Jordan's 7th best. His career high is better by...
Yeah, his field goal percentage was blurred out. Damn, dude, I always forget. Jordan was getting 37 and wait, this is actually more impressive. 35 on 53% shooting. Dude. His average went down by 2 points that season, but his shooting percentage went up by 5. That is amazing. All the while getting 1.6 steals, 3.2. Oh, I'm sorry, 1.6 blocks, 3.2 steals, 5.9 assists, so 6 assists, 5.5 rebounds, shooting 84% at the line. My God.
And nearly 6 points per game.
What a freak.
People love to talk about LeBron's all-around game, even though Michael plays a different style. But for one season, he proved to the world that he could be the best at that aspect if he wanted to.
Yeah, for sure.
In 1989, he averaged 32.5 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2.9 steals per game.
Yeah, he was giving Magic Johnson a run for his money at his own position.
Has LeBron ever done that? He hasn't. His 2008 season was the closest, but it still isn't up to par. As far as defense, Michael was considered the best defender in the league at his best. LeBron has 0 Defensive Player of the Year awards. But that's not all. Did you know that
I think he was first time all defense twice in his career?
Finish his career without surpassing...
And Jordan was 9 time, if I'm not mistaken, just off the top of my head. Excuse me. Is this defensive rankings? Hold on, let me...
Jordan at all. Did you know that LeBron's going to finish his career without surpassing Jordan in total steals?
Damn. After 7 more years? Gary Payton, you almost did it, didn't you, J-Kid? Yeah, no surprise there. Chris Paul, a little bit surprised. John Stockton, yeah, man, you're that guy.
He is behind by nearly 200, despite playing 7 more seasons.
Wild.
But let's shift our attention to the playoffs. Michael has 10 games where he scored over 50 points. That includes a 63-point game. LeBron has only scored over 50 once. As far as playoff series, LeBron's best is 30.5 points per game. That would also be Jordan's 7th best. His career high is better by nearly 7 points per game. As far as assists, Michael's best was an average of 11.4, which came in the finals.
Yeah,
LeBron's
91.
best is 11.3.
Damn.
Which came in the semifinals. As far as who was the better winner, it's not just that Michael went 6-0 in the finals and LeBron went 4-6. Jordan has a playoff series win percentage of 81. LeBron's is 80%. For the regular season, Jordan's teams have a win percentage of 66.9. LeBron's is 61.6%.
Yeah, I don't feel like we need to spend as much time on LeBron. I really don't. Like, it's already established. We know. Like, he didn't even come close.
That's considering the fact that Michael has played with 1 All-Star teammate for his entire career. LeBron has played with 8. Yeah. Seriously, what's the excuse?
Screw the All-Star thing. How many top 75 players at this point? I feel like LeBron's played with like half of the the top 75 team.
For him not winning more. Michael's highs are clearly better. As far as the lows, we can point to LeBron's 2011 Finals Series when the Heat were the favorites to win. But LeBron recorded the 5th lowest scoring average of the series. Even 0-time All-Star Jason Terry performed better. There were also 2 games in which he had 0 field goals in the 4th quarter. Has Michael Jordan ever done anything remotely as bad as that? Should the greatest player of all time have that in the resume?
He's not even close.
My answer is no.
Now take that comparison and compare him to everybody else on this list. Stop comparing him to Jordan.
Might have strong arguments, but my GOAT remains Michael Jordan. Who is yours and why? What would your rebuttal be? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Who's my GOAT and why? My GOAT's Michael Jordan. Why? He's the greatest winner I've ever seen. He's the baddest mofo I've ever seen played a game. He backed up everything. He was a great winner, and he was a very respectful loser when he lost. He's the best on offense, best on defense, best in his position all time. Come on now, 6-0 in the NBA Finals. Always the best player on his team. Even when he was 40 years old. Yeah, dude, I don't need to keep going on. I don't even think LeBron needed to be in this video, to tell you the truth. Like everybody else, it was a compelling argument. When it comes to LeBron, it's just like, no, it's just not even in the ballpark. That's what made this video interesting for me, at least, was seeing how everybody else does have somewhat of a case where you can argue, well, they were better than Jordan at this, maybe. There's nothing that LeBron has ever done that's better than Jordan on a basketball court. Like nothing. So you can't say he's a better passer, a better shooter, better defender. better in the clutch, better playoff performer, better finals performer. You can't say any of these things about him. So, yeah. I would love to see a video like that, though. Literally, LeBron James versus 10 NBA legends, and you can pick all the same legends. Keep Jordan in there if you want. Just make that a short segment, because we know that's going to be a massacre. But I'd like to see your take on comparing LeBron to the other greats to see. Because that's what, guys, I went from like, I don't know, I'd say about 3 to 4 years ago, the media had like corrupted my brain so much where I was saying LeBron is number 2 all time. And then I did this for myself, basically, where I was like, wait a second, what makes him better than Kobe? And then I pinned those two together, and then I walked away going, no way, dude, Kobe's got the edge. And then I'm like, all right, who's next? And I was like, Magic. What makes him better than Magic? And I stacked everything together. I'm like, no, not even close. Did the same with Kareem. Did the same with Duncan, Bird, you know, and the list goes on. But that's how LeBron got so low on my list, because I made him go head to head against people instead of just skipping him in line like everybody else seems to do. Like, just put him at number 2, and then we'll make him battle for number 1 to see if he wins. No, you got a lot of people, a lot of greats to get through before you get that number 2 spot. So, anyways, you guys, I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a fun video for me to watch for sure. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it too. So leave a comment down below. We'll have a conversation. You let me know. I don't know. I feel like most of you are gonna watch this and be like, yeah, it was no contest. But let's see what you guys have to say. Either way, I'm looking forward to continue all our conversations down below like we have every day. You guys are the greatest community in all of YouTube. I'm so damn lucky. Thank you all. Yeah, I'm out of here. So like the vid, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And yeah, be water, my friends.